Hi, welcome to our third edition of American College Cricket Facebook Live, our live show. And today, well, we woke up to the news in the cricket world that ABD Villiers has retired from international cricket. So I figured some of you will want to talk about that. And we'll have a couple of you on giving your views on ABD and his retirement. Apparently, this is one of the most shocking pieces of news, and it's affected a lot of people because he's been so popular around the world. And just the other day, of course, we were seeing how he made an amazing catch. Now I have to bring on the guys. Let's see. We'll get them on in a second. Sorry about the delay. Since this is only our third show, not everybody is quite up on what needs to be done to get on. Let's see. I'm not seeing either of you guys. I'm on. Like I said, you have to be watching. You have to be watching Facebook Live on the American College Cricket Facebook page. Okay, there we got Yash. Yash, you should be coming on now. All right, there you are. Welcome, Yash.
Hey Lloyd, how are you? Good evening.
I'm good, thanks. Where are you right now? Are you in Pittsburgh?
No, I am in Tampa, Florida.
I see. Okay. On summer break, right?
So yeah, I work here in St. Pete.
Oh, okay. So now, let's get right to it. As we all woke up to the news this morning that ABD retired. Tell us how you feel about that.
Firstly, it's shocking, it's surprising, and it's upsetting too. He was one of those players who was like universally loved, probably one of the very few who has like outpouring emotions even outside the country that he belongs to. It's really sad to hear that, and it comes kind of as a shock. I personally expected him to last at least till the 2019 World Cup. That was probably their best bet with Amla, Faf, Klassen, and the likes of other youngsters coming in, and with ABD. It's like the entire South African team used to look up to ABD, and he was like their motivation for the 2019 World Cup. I don't know how the selectors are gonna take a look at this, and if God forbid, like Faf or Amla, like they decide to retire, South Africa is not going to be a potent threat in the 2019 World Cup. So in terms of the World Cup, it's a big loss. And just in terms of cricket, like that guy was loved so much all over the world. I remember apart from Dhoni and Kohli, if there is one person who used to receive like an unprecedented reception at any stadium, even when he came out to just knock for practice, it was probably AB de Villiers. Phenomenal track record. I mean, he's at like 8,700 test runs at an average of 50.6, 9,500 ODI runs at 53. And like T20s, he was another animal. He had like a strike rate of 135 over 100 games. Just and like 10 days back, Lloyd, you remember the catch that he took right on the boundary? He was like 3.5 feet in the air. And then when he says that I'm retiring because I'm tired, probably not in my athletic prime, that's something that's very difficult to digest, but it is what it is. It's kind of tough.
Well, exactly. I was talking about that catch like everybody else, and then today to wake up to the news. So it's not clear whether he'll play things like the IPL and so on. What do you think?
I think he will. There is a very good point that Joy Bhattacharya, one of the experts on one of the Crickbus shows, brought up. He said this is a point where similar thing happened to Brendan McCullum a couple of years back. So if you see, compare international cricket to international sport, there is a drastic difference. It's like exactly opposite. The international sports in general, they have club matches for like 8 to 9 months and then international matches for 2 or 3 months. On the contrary, with cricket, it's like there are 2 or 3 months of club cricket, like an IPL or a Big Bash, but 8 to 9 months of country cricket. And country cricket probably won't make so much money as much as the leagues do. So solely from an economic perspective, the model is kind of not too much player favoring. Of course, there are things like advertisements, endorsements, etc. But just from the feel and look of it. Also, the country tours are like long these days. The recent tour that India had of South Africa, there's like a 3.5 month long tour. So it kind of gets difficult on players. And Brendan McCullum once said that I am at a place where I know I can go another 3 years on this fitness, but I'm like, I'll play league games, make more money without so much strain on my body and secure my next generation. So I still think AB de Villiers is going to play. He's still fit. He's in incredible form. There is no reason that one can actually point out that he should not play or would not really play. And he's also very stable in his family life. Like you see, he's a happy family man. So nothing that I feel you would stop him from not playing.
Well, yes, there's so much that makes it seem as though he's in the prime of his career. So I can understand the disappointment of all the fans when he says that he's retiring. But the other side of it is that he's 34, and whilst we've seen players who go on longer, Sachin, even Chris Gayle right now is about 37 or 38 and so on. On the other hand, 34 has been an age in the past when cricketers have retired from the top level. So in terms of age, it's not necessarily a bad time for him. And like he said, he's tired.
Fair enough. I mean, as if you try to compare like an era back, say the era of Gangulis and Dravids, but I still feel that the players which are in the current generation, the amount of fitness training and the kind of food, the kind of nutritionists that they have, the kind of support staff that they get, I still feel 34 is kind of an early age for these guys because they have so much facility at their place. And especially if there were some other players who are who do not come across as really fit, would make this statement of being tired. It's much easier to digest. I'm not saying what ABD is saying is not right. It's probably and the player knows it the best. Nobody else can know. We can all just speculate based on what we see. It's the player who knows it, whether he's feeling the same adventure. Like he always said, cricket to him was adventure. So if he's not feeling the same adventure anymore, it's not probably worth it. So, but that's a very good point. Like if we compare eras, it seems perfect. Like 34 is the age to retire. You're retiring on a high. That's a very mature decision. But maybe I'm just a fan and I want to see more of ABD. That's how he was, right? The more you see him, the more you ever wanted to see him.
I think that's it for a lot of people based on what I've seen, particularly in my Facebook newsfeed. People love his approach to the game, his athleticism and all of that, his abilities. But also there's something about his personality that makes him exceptional. So it really, touches people to think that he wouldn't be playing international cricket anymore. And of course, while it doesn't mean he's away from the game totally, we all know the reality is the door is closing. Yeah. So that's why it affects so many people. Yeah. Well, thanks for your input on that. We have Sahil waiting to come on, and I thought perhaps we could have multiple people on, sure. But it's not showing me that option. Maybe we'll figure that out in the future. Before you go, what's your pick for the IPL?
Tough question. I'll still go with CSK. Dhoni as the leader, he's probably the best general you can have in the army. And the moment he gets the yellow jersey on, he's a different animal. It's MSD 2.0. That's what everybody's calling it. Something we saw in MS Dhoni like 10 years back. And it's not just one player winning the game for CSK. One day it's Bravo, next day Billings. One day you play Faf in a playoff and he wins you the game single-handedly. it's Deepak Chahar coming in and scoring like at a 200 strike rate. So the opposition is like, man, if we get 7 wickets down, we still have a person who can come and score a 40 at 200 strike rate. Seems a much, much more balanced side, but I'll still pick CSK, and I think it's a CSK versus KKR final, considering KKR have the home advantage against SRH, which is slightly low on the batting side there.
All right. Thank you, Yash. And I guess we'll see you this fall at regionals.
Yes, that's right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see if I can bring on Sahil.
Sure.
I think we have to figure out how you can leave the broadcast.
I think I can drop. Let me check.
Go ahead. Yeah. All right. Let's see if we can bring on Sahil now. I should have mentioned that Yash is actually from Carnegie Mellon. Carnegie Mellon, one of our original teams to the beginning. And Sahil, could you send me a request to be added to the broadcast? I know you had problems recently with your Facebook. This seems to be affecting my ability to bring you on. All right, I was able. Let's see if we can get you on now. I want to say hi to a couple of people watching. Priyadarshan, Vin, Satya, Sahil, still nothing? Oh, well, you know what? Perhaps we'll have you on tomorrow broadcast. Well, thank you guys for watching. And tune in tomorrow at 8 o'clock. We'll do tomorrow's at 8 o'clock. And we'll have Sahil on there until we can figure out how we can do multiple people. This is only our third broadcast of American College Cricket Live. And we hope you enjoyed it. And we'll try to have more of you on as time goes by. Talk about topical things like ABD retiring today. And of course, the IPL going on right now. Bye. Until tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Oh, wait. Until tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Sahil, there you are,
There we go.
Good. We learn as we go. We learn as we go along.
Yeah.
So I know you were messaging me that basically you felt the same way that Yash felt, but still, let the people hear it at least briefly from you yourself about ABD retiring.
I mean, as everyone, I mean, it came as a shock. I mean, nobody would have expected ABD to retire at this point of his career. I mean, he was just smashing bowlers left and right just a couple of days ago in the IPL. So, I mean, and as well as the 2019 World Cup coming right around the corner. I don't think it was the right time for him to retire, but you know, as everyone, it's enough is enough at one point, and I guess ABD was just tired at this point.
Yeah, and here's how I see it as well. Let's say he's saying right now that he's retired from international cricket. He can always be re-energized. We don't know what's going on with someone mentally. He did that amazing catch the other day. You know, that tends to indicate he's at the peak of his athletic prowess. But still, we don't know what's going on mentally. And it's quite possible, being away from the top levels of the game, test cricket, etc., and he could feel re-energized and continue to play, for example, in the IPL, etc., next year. He might not be saying that now, but that's possible.
Yeah, as he said, I mean, in his interview his official retirement interview, he said if he doesn't if he doesn't play in all three formats for the portrays, he's not going to play at all. So, I mean, I don't think he wants to be like a certain pick for one format. If he's not going to play all three formats, might as well just retire at that point.
Right. Okay, well, it's good to hear your point of view on that. And tell me, who's your pick right now of the teams left for the IPL?
Oh, it's tough, but I got to go with CSK at this point. You know, led by Mahendra Singh Dhoni, but none other. He's been, I think, in all of his IPL seasons, he's qualified for the playoffs with the Chennai Super Kings. And this year is no other after coming off the 2-year ban. You would think a team that is as old as the Chennai Super Kings, out of all the teams, wouldn't have such an easy time getting to the playoffs and might as at least the finals as well. So I feel like the Chennai Super Kings are gonna have a run for their championship, and if there's a team to bother them, it's gonna be the Sunrisers as well. I feel like they got a bit unlucky with the wickets falling in the first match. I mean, they got CSK in a spot of bother, and Faf du Plessis had a great innings to finish that match off. So I feel like the SRH versus Kolkata is going to be a good match, and I have CSK versus SRH Part 4 in the final.
Okay. Now, was that the team you were picking from the beginning, or just
No,
because we're down now to the last couple?
were you talking about the beginning of the IPL or just the playoffs?
Yeah, what's usually your team?
I had to go Royal Challengers Bangalore, so I'm a big Kohli fan, so always stuck by them all 10 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good. All right, well, it's been good chatting with you, and I'm glad we figured out how to add you.
Sounds good.
So we're on a roll now.
All right.
By the way, I should mention that you're from Drexel.
Yes.
And of course, I'm sure all you guys will be sharing this video as they get in or get in from work or whatever they're doing now that school is out.
Yep.
So I'll see you probably, or maybe we'll speak again later.
Yep, sounds good.
Take care. Bye.
Yeah.